To ensure that the lifespan of a Felco increases, you have to maintain it. Before every pruning season, you have to strip the shear completely. By doing that, taking out the spring, loosen this bolt with the number 8 spanner, and the rest you can do by hand. And there you have it. To take off the anvil, which is not always necessary, you can also use the number 8. So after you've stripped your shear completely, you need the following: some soap water to take off the grease or a degreaser, a wire brush, a scourer, some spray, an oil-based spray, and also some grease to lubricate and make sure you've got the right stuff at the right places. Now let's start with our anvil. Never ever use a sandpaper. Use a little bit of soap water or a degreaser and take away all dirt. It comes up very easily. And so we carry on with every single part. Okay, next we are going to look at the spring. To clean the spring, you can also use the same soap water by pressing it in and out like that. But whilst doing, you can also feel if there's something wrong with the spring. The spring is almost for a year. So if the spring is much shorter than a new one, rather throw away the spring and replace it with a brand new one. And then you start with the handles. You can take a wire brush and take off all foreign matter by brushing it and make sure everything is clean. Each individual screw, the same. Right, and now we dry everything and make sure it's completely dry before we start assembling. Now that everything is dry and clean, we're going to lubricate the parts. First of all, we're going to apply grease on the anvil, and be careful, never put oil there, always grease, because it works very hard. Just a little bit of grease. Also grease on this nut, so you can always loosen it by hand. And on the nut itself, just a little bit of grease, not too much, never too much. What we're also going to use is a little bit of lubricant spray on your spring, just a little bit, not too much. After assembling, make sure the setting of the tool is correct. First of all, take out the spring, then keep the lower handle in your hand and drop the top one. Ideally, it should be a third open and 2/3 close. Now we're going to do the sharpening. Now, always use a sharpener, never sandpaper or even rocks. Now the correct angle, or plus minus, to remember is, if that is 90 degrees, that is 45 degrees, and the half of 45 is roughly 22, 23 degrees. That's your angle of sharpening. And the easy way to do it is to take your pruner, either your left or right, but take it like that, then you can't hurt yourself. And at the angle we suggested, you can either slide along that angle or in circles, but never too much. After that action, take it and literally scrape it clean, and then only once or twice you go along that, and that's it. And the final step of protecting your Felco tool is to spray it with a lubricant and just wipe it off. And there we have it. Your tool is finished and ready for the season.